Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.
It's time to get educated on your Second Amendment right. It's time to get locked and loaded with Gun Sports Radio. Your hosts, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey, will teach you everything there is to know about firearms, self-defense, and the laws that affect your American right to own and bear arms. Now, here's your host, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome. You are listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170. The Answer. I'm Dave.
On a Sunday afternoon, and a bright and Sunday afternoon, Lance Pelkey.
And
Joe Drammissi, and it's great to be here. What a wonderful day to be on the radio.
absolutely. Let me tell you, and this segment is brought to you by the Gun Range San Diego, 7853 Balboa Avenue, San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. They are the Nordstroms of gun ranges, just not the price. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com. You can set up classes. You can set up parties. You could bring your brothers and sisters and go down and go shooting, your coworkers, whatever you want to do, and join their exclusive club for tons and tons of discounts and benefits. Lance is, well, you're a gold ring, aren't you? Or what do you
I'm
call
a
it?
gold member, absolutely.
Yeah,
a gold member.
If you're going to do it, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, plus I spilled a solvent, as you know, so they clean 2 guns a month for me, which
That's
is
right.
fabulous.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. So if you ever have never shot before and you're real nervous about shooting and you don't want to be embarrassed, they will not do that. The whole team down there, they love first-time shooters because they can teach you the right way, and they love old-time shooters because, you know, they're old-time shooters too, and it's kind of fun to shoot with people that are like-minded. But if you've never shot a gun before, never held a gun, you need to go down. And don't make the mistake I did. I went to a gun range before the Gun Range San Diego kicked in, and I took my wife, and I ended up getting a gun that she cannot fire. And that won't happen at the Gun Range San Diego. And make sure you tell me you heard it right here on KCBQ. All right, so we got a special guest on the line. Michael, do you want to introduce? Oh, Michael's not here.
Yeah, where is Michael
He's
today?
eating hot dogs.
Joe, where's Michael today?
Michael's enjoying the Padres, apparently, today.
See, that's another benefit of belonging to San Diego County gun owners, right?
That's for sure. I understand there's at least 50 people
Yeah,
down
they're
there all wearing San Diego County gun owners hats. See, you guys, you're not alone.
See?
Come with us.
All right, so, Michael, who we got on the line?
Well, speaking of coming with us, there's a beautiful assembly district up on the north part of San Diego.
I love that area.
And Assembly District 76, which was owned, I believe, and run before by the Republicans. I think it was Rocky Chavez, if my memory serves me correctly. But today we have a nice guest coming on and who's running for the 76th District. That's Mr. Michael Murray. Are you on the line, my friend?
I am on the line. How are you guys?
Hey, man, we're doing great. We appreciate you taking your time out of your on your Sunday afternoon. And so tell us why you decided to run for this 76th Assembly District.
Well, a lot of the same reasons why Mike Schwartz decided to go to the Padres game. It just seems like a good thing to do right now.
You didn't get invited either, huh?
Exactly. When I ran into him last time at a meeting, he said, yeah, I'm not going to be there to interview you. I'm going to the Padres game. I said, man, I just fell second to the Padres. I can accept that. But running for the 76 honestly was an easy choice and a natural progression with the way things have been going. This last couple of years, I've never been in an elected position before. However, I've worked on other campaigns in the past, and before 2 years ago, I had no political aspirations of my own at all. It was just a job. But you know how it is when you lie to yourself long enough, the more you learn, the less you can lie to yourself, with the education. And so the more I learned about how legislation gets passed and how taxes get raised and how, school systems get what they need, just more and more of my passion fell into it. And so I've pretty much come to the determination that we don't need more smart people in government. We have plenty of smart people. What we need now is people with balls. Quite honestly, we need brave people, comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right now, the Democrats have the supermajority, and it's going to be pretty difficult to get any legislation passed if you're not somebody who is tenacious and as a Marine combat veteran, there's really nothing that a person stateside can do or say that can make me switch up on my beliefs. And so I think we need that more than ever right now.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Murray. And also, too, did any Republicans run this last time, or was it just a couple of Democrats, and that's how they got the office? They won the seat.
So actually, the reason why we're in the situation we are right now as a party is because too many Republicans ran, and we ended up splitting the vote pretty aggressively.
That's right.
So Tasha Horvath is in there now.
Okay.
And, she's a confident woman, but, quite honestly, we just don't share the same beliefs when it comes to certain aspects of government. And so now we have 3 candidates running, myself and 2 others. And, strategically, we're just really being careful about making sure too many aren't running again. So the party is, obviously being very diligent as far as making sure they select the right candidates. And I'm working my hardest to make sure that that's me.
And so what's the one thing or 1 or 2 things you think you could do to, help make a difference with the onslaught of, the other side, representing government nowadays?
Well, one of those things, one is a policy issue, and the second thing is more of a social issue. I'll start with the policy issues. Right now, housing affordability in California is astronomical, and it's even worse for coastal cities. And when it comes down to it, regulatory burdens and permitting fees are just killing home builders, and those same regulatory burdens are killing job creators as well. And so we have to get livable wages. We have to build homes, and it's so expensive for a developer to build a house or a housing complex these days that it's impossible to pass on any savings. And so on a higher level, there's something called CEQA. We need some CEQA reform. Unions and NIMBYs, courtroom lawyers. I mean, they're just abusing it like crazy. And so I want to try to come down with some CEQA reform.
Yeah.
On the social level, the Republican Party really needs to grow. I feel like anybody who calls themselves a politician or a Republican at all has a responsibility to try to grow the party as healthily and strategically as possible. And right now we're missing out on very key people. And so I think I speak the language of that group. I'm a different kind of politician. I'm only 35 years old. I'm turning 36 in 3 weeks. I'm a dad. I'm a regular guy. I'm a military veteran. I work in the real estate and mortgage industry. And so, I pay bills like everybody else. I'm not excited about this gas tax increase that's coming tomorrow. I'm angry about these things just like everybody else. And I also care a lot about my Second Amendment rights. And so that's not the responsibility of old people. And quite frankly, that's not the responsibility of white people. Americans as a whole, black, white, and everything in between, have a responsibility to care about those things and be aggressive about keeping control over it. And, with the Republican Party, I always say, the most conservative group of people are the conservative families, are the minority families. The Latino family, the black family, just socially and culturally are conservative in very many ways. And I just think it's important to see people who look like you, who sound like you, who come from where you come from, speak to the things that you care about. And I want to be one of the people who can be understood. There's a lot of politicians that are in office right now that are only there because people really didn't understand what they were talking about, and they just voted for who they heard their friends and their families say that they were going to vote for. So I want to be somebody who is clear and concise, and when I speak about issues, I want to be able to explain them in a way that the average person can understand it, and it'll make them more confident and competent, and the policies going on around them.
Well, so far you've done that. What's a website for you? How could people get a hold of you
or help you out anyway?
Yeah, so if you go to the website, it's going to be michaelmurrayforassembly.com.
Nice.
It's going to be that same tag for my email as well, michaelmurrayforassembly@gmail.com.
Is it the letter or number 4, or is it FORE?
The number 4. That's right.
That's fabulous. Well, you're well-spoken and easy to understand, and it sounds like a really good guy to keep an eye on.
Well, yeah, I try my best. Albert Einstein has one of my favorite quotes. He says, any idiot can make something simple sound complicated with fancy words, but it takes an artist to make something complex simple.
That's our artist.
So I want to make this
awesome.
Easy to swallow.
All right, buddy. Hey, well, thank you very much, and we'll definitely get you back on the air, and we'll try to get as many people to go to your site as possible. Give it out one more time.
Yeah, Michael Murray, the number 4, assembly.com.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, and have a great 4th of July.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Thank you.
God bless. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. This is Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. Hey, you heard us talk all the time about how easy it is to install a Cali key and how it makes your AR rifle California legal. Well, in recognition of the recent gun law changes, those law changes can put that unknowing owner of an AR-15 or a 10 on the wrong side of a jail door. And if you want your AR to keep its pistol grip, telescoping stock, foregrip, and still have a detachable magazine, check out Cali Key. Cali Key is a cost-effective, easy solution that will allow you to keep your AR compliant and future-proof your AR from all those horrible new California gun laws. Keep your entire AR collection intact at a price you can afford. That's Cali Key. Check them out at www.calikey.com. That's KALIKEY.com. Last but not least, do you or any of your family keep a taser, pepper spray, firearm, or other weapon for personal protection? Do you have or are you going to get a CCW? Well, if you're involved in an incident, what is your plan to pay for bail and expensive lawyer costs? Talk to the good folks at firearmslegalprotection.com. Lance has his. I've got mine. And for less than $10 a month, you will have peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you. That's www.firearmslegal.com, firearmslegal.com, or 469-310-9100. That's 469-310-9100. And if you ever have to get into a situation with them, hopefully you won't, they'll assign a lawyer to you to take care of all your issues. And guess what? It might be John Dillon from Gatsky, Dillon and Balance, LLP. Go to cafirearmslaw.com, cafirearmslaw.com, or you can call him direct at 760-431-9501. John is a shooter, a hunter, and he cares about your Second Amendment rights. If you don't believe it, sit back and take a listen.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful,
Hi.
man. How are you enjoying that wonderful sunshine out there?
Are you at the Padre game with Michael, too?
I'm not at the Padre game, but I am at the beach today. It was too good of a day to miss out, and I'm pretty sure my kids would have came after me if I said we weren't going to the beach.
What's the matter? Is it a little hot in your neighborhood, my friend?
Yeah, I'm a little inland, so it's a little bit warmer over there than at the beach. Sure, we're definitely in summer.
Cool. So, what are you chatting about?
All right. Well, there's two main issues here, obviously. A lot of people are well aware of what's happening and occurring tomorrow. But we have the ammo apocalypse, got ammo.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Stand on one leg.
Can you hear me?
Ah, that's good. What'd you do?
I stood up. We got the ammo background checks coming in. That starts tomorrow. Now, anytime you ammunition, you will have to undergo a background check in which your personal information will be recorded, as well as the make, the amount, even velocity of the gun or ammunition you're purchasing. That gets all recorded into a database in California, operated by the DOJ. If you have a firearm registered to you under the automated firearm system, then you have a $1 eligibility check or background check. If you don't have a firearm registered to you, it's going to be a $19 eligibility check when you buy ammo. And again, this is not a one-time background check. You have to do a background check every time you go in to buy ammunition. Although they're saying it'll take 60, 90 seconds. As far as I'm aware of today, the system is not operational, and the FFLs that I've been speaking with have not had the ability to even get on. So we'll see how that goes.
We're gonna have Casey with the Gun Range San Diego on a little bit later, so maybe he'll give us an update.
Yeah, it'd be great. For my check the other day, it was still many questions were unanswered. DOJ has done next to nothing to do this. I mean, they've to set this system up, and just like with the restriction system, this is a last minute. They're piecing it together. More than likely, people will not be able to buy ammunition tomorrow because this system won't work correctly. Just like the assault weapon registration crashed for the last week it was running. So, we may have, for those you don't know, there is a challenge to that, Sharp v. Becerra, which challenged the assault weapon registration, and it got passed a motion to dismiss, and they survived, the plaintiffs. And the judge actually said that the DOJ, amounted to deliberate indifference when it came to this registration system. And looks like the ammunition registration and background check system is headed down that way too. So it's going to get real messed up. For those of you who have the federal limits apply IDs right now, although the law and the regulations do not say that they are required at all, the California DOJ is trying to make the argument that you need a real ID to purchase ammunition, and if you don't, you have to bring additional proof of residency, citizenship, and that's either a valid unexpired passport, certified birth certificate, and a number of other items. So it's not looking good, that's for sure.
Hey, John.
And the great thing, though,
hey, John. Yeah. I want to give you an update on Real ID because I went and got mine, last year, and I got a letter 3 weeks ago from DMV. Due to the fact that we need more information for your Real ID, I'm thinking, geez, now I got to go back down. It says all you need to do, sign the bottom of this form, mark the fact that the address and everything are correct, and just mail it in.
Yeah, my wife got one too about a week ago. It's just utterly absurd. But
it is.
The good news about this ammunition background check system is CRPA, you got to congratulate those guys. They have a case on file. They've already filed a complaint to challenge the laws. It's Road v. Becerra. So, check it out, look it up, and support that because, they're trying to get rid of the bogus requirement to buy ammunition. And lastly, I'll say, technically you can buy ammo online, but you have to ship it to an FFL in California, and you'll still have to go through the background check in order to purchase ammunition. The only other thing I have, which again is like as usual, it's not very good news, but tomorrow, July 1st, is the end of the assault weapon infraction. So up until for the first year after the registration ended for assault weapons, if you were caught with an illegal assault weapon because of some bogus technicality, you would either just infraction and have to pay a fine, and that was going to lasted up until the July 1st, tomorrow. We will see if they try to extend that in any way, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, if you have an assault weapon and you get in trouble because it's not configuration, the $500 fine and infraction provision is no longer on the table when you're dealing with felony or misdemeanor charges. Likely felony, though.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so make sure your stuff's compliant because no longer are you going to be able to get away with paying a fine.
Hey, can we rewind for 1 second and go back to that ammo law deal?
Yeah.
Is it true that there's a loophole in the law that says if someone comes from out of state and delivers ammunition to a California resident such as Drammissi, that he could accept that ammunition and that's not breaking the law?
On that one, we're just that up in the air for now on the radio. That's
Okay.
We'll see on that, and it's
Okay, so it's gray.
yeah. And the reason I say that is by no means was intending for that to be the case. And so, if you're caught driving in ammunition and selling it to a resident, more than likely, even if it does end up to be completely legal, it's going to cause problems, especially if police or anyone, catches you doing it.
Right.
And you're going to have to go down the process to explain yourself and prove that it is, in fact, lawful. They're not just going to take your word for it.
Sure, and maybe have to pay to prove for it, hire a lawyer, and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah. So very careful with that. I have to go through that part of the regulation more thoroughly, say anything publicly on that.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
John, too, back to your the buying ammunition online. I've been doing that for like the last year, stocking up and doing things. And the company that I was buying for, when I went to order it like a month ago, they were saying that they're no longer doing business with California because of the regulations. So, even though it's still legal, they could still do it. But, companies on their own are deciding not to deal with it now.
Yeah, and that's a big negative side effect that happens. That a lot of times companies outside California won't ship to California. Legal firearms to, ship into and purchase in California because they don't want to deal with California. They don't want to deal with the state's regulations
Sure.
and the paperwork. And so a lot of people, especially go on auction sites, gun broker, a lot of people say no sales to California. And it doesn't matter if it's totally a legal California gun. They just don't want to bother with it because of, these onerous regulations. So that's going to be a big side effect. You're probably going to have ammo prices increase dramatically, let alone the additional fees that you're going to have to pay and time that you're going to have to take to get ammo in California.
Well,
so it was good that you stocked up. I know a lot of people that were doing that for the last couple of months, and it was a smart decision.
Someone could say that as a side effect of what's happening, but someone could also say that that's a real intended effect of this thing.
Yeah, that's the argument I would make because I think that's the intended effect of a lot of these laws. They don't have anything to do with
of their Second Amendment right, and that's very clear. You see that all through regulations that have been proposed. One recent one that didn't get any traction, but it'll get proposed, is increasing the fees for CCWs to 100 to 300 to no limit. And that's to make it too expensive to get your concealed carry permit. Even if you qualify, even if you have an ongoing threat, the state wants to make it too expensive for you to be able to protect yourself.
Sure.
And it is their goal. They want to price out of guns. They want to price out of ammunition. They want to price out of your right. It's a terrible thing.
Whatever they can do. Hey, I got to let you go, buddy. Thanks a million. Hey, go jump in the ocean.
Last thing I'll say is take a look at the news in the next couple of days. We might have a little surprise for all you guys.
Oh, thanks. Better be good news.
Yeah, it might be.
All right. Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance LLP. Check them out. Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170. The Answer. Folks, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170. We are the Answer. Hey, folks, you've heard us talk a lot about how easy it is to install a Cali key and how it makes your AR rifle California legal in recognition of recent gun law changes. Well, those law changes can put the unknowing owner of an AR-15 or AR-10 on the wrong side of a jail door. You don't want to be that person. And if you want to keep your AR pistol grip, telescoping stock, foregrips, and still have a detachable magazine, you need Cali Key. It is the most cost-effective, easy solution that will allow you to keep your AR compliant and future-proof your AR from all those horrible new California gun laws. Keep your entire AR collection intact at a price you can afford with Cali Key. That's KaliKey.com, KALIKEY, KALIKEY.com. All right now, this segment is brought to you by the best gun range in San Diego County as far as we're concerned. The Gun Range San Diego, 7853 Balboa Avenue. They're open 10 to 10, 7 days a week. They are truly the Nordstroms of gun ranges, just not the price. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com, thegunrangesandiego.com. You will see all of the benefits and features that you could get when you go to the range. They have a library that's about as extensive as you can get. And the cool thing is, go out and shoot it on the range first. Make sure it's a gun for you. Talk to folks like Casey, and they will be more than happy to take care of you just like family. And as I mentioned before, first-time shooters, they love you. Second-time shooters, or long-time shooters, they truly, truly respect you, and you'll be happy either way. All right, Mr. Casey, what do you got for us today? What are you doing today? I bet you're selling ammo.
You're darn right. We're always pushing our ammo. You know, what stocks we have left, we're still pushing it. We got some 9mm. We're pretty much bone dry on 45. We got some 5.56 223 left. So whatever ammo people need to get, come on down here and get it as quick as you can. We have another shipment coming in, but that'll be tomorrow, and then the fun begins.
Yeah. Have you got all that other garbage straightened out? Because I don't think the drones, the computers.
As best we can, you know. Without the computer system's going to go. It's not even, up, so we can't even check it out. But it's, luckily, you know, we're talking to all of our customers. We're informing them. So everybody's going to have patience with us. I mean, they have to at this point. But
no choice.
We're informing people as best we can, you know. It's like, this isn't on us, so please don't get mad at us that it takes a little while because no government system's going to take that quick. But at least they finally have it broken down, you know, into the little 3 segments so you actually know which is which. So far it's going to be, you know, the longest part is going to be the actual background check itself, which is going to be a couple minutes, hopefully, as long as everybody's ducks in a row and you've purchased a gun within the past 5 years in California, you should be okay. But what they were also talking about is if there's any misinformation with your ID versus what's on the dross and whatnot, then they have to go correct that, and you have to redross other stuff. So if everybody's, you know, if the paperwork's good and every information's fine, it shouldn't be that bad. But again, it still sucks.
Hey Casey, real quick, have you seen a screenshot yet of what information that you guys, the gun shop employee, has to put in the system, like bullet weight and grain and all this stuff?
Yeah, I've been looking at it right now. We have this pamphlet that we're going through, so it's going through all the information. So you're pretty much looking at the box of ammo, and you're putting in to the T of what it is, the grain of it, how much, the
cost per bullet. Did you see all that?
Yeah, I did.
The cost per round and all this stuff.
So, hey, Casey, I got a question. Let's say somebody's got their permit when they bought a gun, and it expired. Can you sell them ammo with an expired permit?
Permit as in like an FSC, or permit as in so on these ones it won't be. So these ones are basically going to be going off the DRO system. So if you haven't had a gun purchased in California within the past 5 years, that's the one where you're paying the $20 fee, and it's not guaranteed.
You don't need no stinking badges.
That one's called which one's that one? That's the basic, or is that the standard? Excuse me, I'm looking at it. I'm reading it right here. So the basic one is the one where you do not have a current dross in there, or you haven't drossed anything within the past few years, and it could take multiple days or denied.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So if you have one, the standard one is the other dollar one, and that's one where you've already done a dross within the past 5 years for a handgun, and as long as all the information is still current, it'll be okay. The other one, the one, if you have a COE, it's pretty easy. They just type in your COE number and a couple of things, and you're good.
Gotcha.
So luckily for us people that work in the firearm industry or other people, if you have your COE, you're good for the most part. It's still, it's still going to be an interesting process trying to learn through this. You know, it's a whole new system that's going statewide, and everybody's learning it at the same exact time. So we're just imploring our wonderful customers that we have to just please be patient with us.
Well,
this is not our fault.
Yeah, they've been hearing it for a while, the ones that are informed. Joe, do you have a question?
So, hey, Casey, are you finding that most of your customers are aware of this and they know it's coming, or are you still talking to people that are, shocked when you mention this?
For the most part, pretty much everybody knows, because we've been pushing it so much for so long that everybody is, good for the most part. Very few people I've had come in have been asking, but like, oh, you know, they ask, oh, is that background check still going in? So the people are informed. They're just, you know, they know that it's coming, but they don't know exactly what it entails and what's going to be the process for it. So that's what we're trying to speed people up on and educate people on, is how long it's going to take and whatnot. So, yeah, when it comes to, is because they basically have the 3 classes for the checks on it, which is the COE check, the standard, which, you know, that's the one where you already have the drills, and then the basic one is where it says a determination may take days to complete. So, you know, when it comes to the DOJ, days, you're probably going to get denied, honestly. And it's just going to be bad.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to take you, though, you know, the clerk again, to, you know, to input all this info?
I mean, that's the thing. The system's not up, so we can't even figure that out.
Yeah.
We haven't even been able to
I've
go
seen
through
some
and
screenshots.
Exactly what's going to be long.
Yeah, okay. It just...
Yeah, we have this pamphlet that goes step by step, and there's like 7 steps to it. So it's not like it's going to be a lot. Once we get it down, it'll be pretty quick. It's like doing our drosses for our guns. Once you've done them enough, you pretty much, you know, you can fill them out pretty quick. Like I can fill out a full dross within, you know, a minute, 2 minutes if I have all the information correct and ready to go. But, you know, if we're still learning this whole new system, we got to figure it out and make sure it's done correctly, because on these ones, especially in California, there's no returns on ammo sales. So, you know, we're going to make sure we do everything, dross the stuff first and then do the sale, because say they get denied or something, they paid for this ammo, there's nothing we can do, you know, refund-wise. So it's going to be very tasking to all the firearm industry and all the gun stores and ammo places and whatnot, because we're going to have to be on the ball even more now to make sure that we don't mess up anybody's paperwork, because, I mean, one little mess up on it and then these people can't get ammo, and then they're going to have to deal with DOJ to correct it so that they can buy ammo again. So it's definitely an eye-opener for how California is running things now, and it's just obscene.
Well, do you have a question, Joe?
Yeah, so Casey, you're saying the system's not up yet. Is that, are they having problems with it, or they're just not giving you access until tomorrow morning?
They haven't. Yeah, they haven't given us access for it. It's not kicking in until tomorrow. So we're going on there and seeing if we're checking it all the time and seeing if the buttons are in there. We just haven't seen it pop up on ours. So there's no way. We haven't been able to practice for it or anything. If they put the system in, you know, weeks back when they were, you know, supposed to or whatnot, then we could actually get the buttons down and understand what we got to do for it. But until that point, we don't know. So come tomorrow, we're going to start learning just like everybody else.
Gotcha. Well, so, you know, it's horrible. In the meantime, I have an extremely serious question to ask you. I've been getting texts and all these contacted by listeners, and so who won the 3-gun?
So, that actually just got done today. Our guys took second place for their first competition. We've only had one guy on the team that's actually done competitions, so we took second place, which we're not mad at whatsoever. Allegedly, well, there's one thing that people need to understand with these competitions. You got to make sure your gear's good, because somebody on one of the teams was running and his handgun fell out of his holster.
Oh.
It wasn't on our team.
Okay, so our congratulations in order then for second place?
You're darn right.
Okay, congratulations. And then who came in first place?
Gunfighter.
Holy smokes, they retain the trophy.
The title.
Yes.
Yeah, they cheated.
Listen to this. Nothing like us.
We're all here to talk smack. It's good.
Yeah.
We're not sure losing all we had. I'm very proud of my guys. You know, they're updating us on it, sending us videos and how they're going, and we
That's great. Who was on your team?
For all of our guys, we had Brian Valdez, one of our managers, Raymart, who's one of our RSOs, and Ron, and then Eric and John was our other guy who's kind of our anchor for that, because he's actually done 3-gun competitions before. The rest of our guys have never done a single 3-gun competition or anything like that, so they've been training for, a month or two within the range. They set up barriers in the range. They've done all sorts of stuff in the range. They'll stay here till like 1 or 2 in the morning training, so we couldn't be happy with how our guys performed.
That's great. Now, that was 5 teams, correct?
Yes, it was.
It was 5 and 3-gun competition, and so the 3-gun, again, is it's a rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun.
Yep. And these guys, these were combative, so they were using plate carriers.
Plate carriers this time.
So Yep, it wasn't going just straight slick with a belt. Like, they actually had weight on it, and they had to maneuver through certain obstacles.
Wow.
They had to shoot from underneath cars, in cars, all sorts of stuff.
So when's the next shoot?
Great course. So.
When's the next competition?
I think we're going to have to set up the next one, and it'll be on our terms this time, so we can see how the range is and set it up beforehand.
Gotcha.
All right. The gun range San Diego, and I hear you got one of my shotguns in jail right now for the 10-day.
Yes, we do. I'm back there. Yep, she's still sitting back there looking pretty.
And which one is it?
That is the Benelli 1014. He bought that bronze one. So Ling's now got to get another one in here to sell.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy. Don't ever bring anything new in there and tell him.
New and shiny, bronze.
All right, buddy. Hey, well, thank you very much for calling in. Gun Range San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go down and give Casey a hard time.
Yep.
Tell him you want 1 million rounds of ammo because he's not doing anything.
They're open till 10.
They're open till 10 on FM 96.1 AM 1170. We are the answer. All right, folks, welcome back. You are listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170. We are the answer. Hey, do you or any of your family keep a taser, pepper spray, firearm, or other weapons for personal protection? Do you have, or are you going to go get a CCW? Well, if you're involved in an incident, what are your plans to pay for bail and expensive lawyer costs? Well, if you hook up with Firearms Legal Protection for less than $10 a month, you will have a peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you and your family. That's Firearms Legal Protection at www.firearmslegal.com. That's firearmslegal.com. Or you can call 844-357-9400. Get you and your family totally safe for less than $10 a month. You can't beat it. All right. Hey, we got Sam the Gunman on the line. How you doing, buddy?
Outstanding. How are you?
Well, your uncle's at a Padre game, so he bailed on us. So we had to come up with our own question.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
So which end does the bullet leave the rifle? No, I'm only kidding.
Oh, he's so bad. He's so bad. So what are you priming the pump with today, my friend? Are you drinking chocolate milk or what's in the glass?
Tang this time.
Oh, what was that?
What was that?
Tang. Tang is the...
Who drinks Tang?
Astronauts.
That's right. Exactly. All right. So we have a question.
We don't
have an answer, but we have a question.
It's a bright and sunny afternoon here in sunny San Diego. Probably, 82 degrees. Just absolutely gorgeous. Right, yep. Joe?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. So we want to keep it simple and fast. You should be able to nail this one and then just move on. Well, what was the name of the rifle that Lewis and Clark carried through the great wilderness?
This one's been asked in different forms about 3 times now. The Girandoni air rifle.
See, didn't I tell you, Dave? Well,
I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Anyway, but give us the history again on the Girandoni air rifle again, because it's just so amazing.
Well, I'm sorry to keep repeating myself, but it was an air rifle. It had an air reservoir in the stock sealed with leather because they didn't have rubber gaskets back then. And they pumped it up, and they could fire these pellets out of it with compressed air.
How effective was that gun?
It could kill a bear.
Really?
Yeah. And we have another question for you.
Okay.
So what was the model shotgun that the United States government used during World War I?
Winchester M1897.
Ah, dang it. He got that one, too. How about during the Iraq War?
But you're only supposed to ask one question. What are you trying to stump the poor kid? You're going to make him drink another glass of Tang here in about 2 minutes.
Well, I know they use different models of shotguns, but I know one that's in fairly common use in the U.S. military is the Mossberg 500.
Oh, gotcha. What about the Benelli 1014?
That's only because he just bought one. Give him some love.
Marine Corps who uses that one.
Oh, you're a Marine. Now.
I got it, man. All right. Well, listen.
Yeah, he just bought one, and that Casey's telling him he's got to come get it.
You're a shining star, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, have a great 4th of July.
You too.
Thank you, buddy. All right. So now, Mr. Drammissi, what have you been writing about lately? Would that be considered an op-ed?
Yeah, kind of. I guess. Yeah,
I just like that word, op-ed. I don't know. That's probably not all that important, but somebody wrote an op-ed. Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, we can go with op-ed. That sounds all right. No, I'm talking about what everyone's talking about now, the new ammo laws that are coming into effect here on Monday. And just not to talk about the same old stuff, but, some other aspects of this, because John touched on it a little bit when we were talking with him a little bit earlier. And, these laws really, you have to look at the big picture here. And these laws really have nothing to do with reducing crime. They have nothing to do with public safety or anything. These are all aimed at hurting gun owners and making it difficult to own firearms, to discourage people from owning firearms, and really to disarm people. I mean, that's really what the intent is. And, people, I think all Americans, but gun owners in particular, need to start waking up to this stuff and need to start, fighting back, basically, and not electing these people that are going to do this kind of thing. If you were unfortunate enough the other night to watch the Democratic primary debates, every single one of those people wants you disarmed, and every single one of them. There's not anyone on there that doesn't think that way.
And the only idea they came up with is to come get them.
Well,
they wanted you. You were gonna give you money for your guns. That's right.
Well, when it's a mandatory buyback, that's confiscation. There's,
that's what you
it's
call
not even
it.
buyback, because buyback assumes or implies that they owned it in the first place, which they didn't.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But with the gun law, because with what John was talking about too, with ordering stuff online, a lot of people. I guess there's a couple of approaches here, and you could take the approach of stocking up on this stuff and giving the lawsuits a chance to take effect and run their course, and hopefully the stuff will get overturned. Or lunch in Yuma, like I was saying, is going to become popular because you're going to force people to go do these things now, and it's just absurd. And the people that it hurts are the gun shops, and the reason I say people need to wake up and start fighting this. I was in a store the other day that just sells ammo. And I was talking to the guy behind the counter, and, I had happened to mention that, there's the CRPA's got a lawsuit ready to go. Hopefully the stuff will get overturned. And his attitude was, no, it's a done deal. Nothing will ever come. This is how it's going to be. And I'm thinking,
he already gave up.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. Newsom loves you guys when you do that kind of stuff.
Right.
And, and this is the kind of guy that it's going to hurt, the most, because something I didn't realize until I, really got more into the firearms and shooting and everything, is that most of these stores, most of the ranges and stuff are small family run businesses. These, there's places like Turner's and stuff out there, but the majority of the shops around here are small family run businesses. Yeah. And, the ammunition sales are a significant, part of their business. And, what I'm thinking what's probably going to happen is people that shoot a lot, that buy a lot of ammo, that aren't reloading themselves, are just not going to get into the system, because people are leery, I think, of government databases, especially here in California. And I think they're just, it's easy enough to go somewhere else and buy it and come back in and just stock up with it.
Right.
And I think it's really, I don't know what the fallout's going to be in terms of lost business, but it's got to be, 30, 40%, something like that. I mean, they're going to lose a lot of business.
Well, like we were talking about before, a side effect or intended effect, and that's probably intended effect.
I think
again.
It is. Yeah, and I think it is. That's, again, they just want to hurt people.
Yeah.
They don't know any other way to make it. They don't know any other way to control it.
Right.
They can't. And how many years have they been trying to do this? We're talking
50 years. I mean,
and how many states, how many countries have done this, taken all the guns away, and the crime is still there. The crime didn't go anywhere.
We were talking earlier before the show started about solutions for our listeners. Now, what's the solution? The show itself is an outlet where we try and inform people about what their rights are and whatever. But to empower them, we got San Diego County gun owners.
Right.
Everybody's got to join to grow us. We went to 1,000. We're at 1,200. Yeah. We need to get to that 2,000, that 2,500.
Right.
We turn into a voting
We need
block.
to get to 100,000 is what we need to do.
But people, they think that, their vote doesn't matter. It does. And we say, come with us.
And they do, yeah. And people, like I said, people need to vote. That's the best way to do this. And They just need to be involved. And for a long time, I think gun owners had the idea of, well, I don't like politics. I'll let somebody else do it.
Yeah, and I've got my Second Amendment right.
Look what
They
happened
can't
with
bother me.
CCW. Yeah, right? When I used to go with Michael Schwartz at different functions before it was San Diego County Gun Owners, and when it just started to be San Diego County Gun Owners, people go, well, man, can you get me a CCW? And now look what happens. Yes, we actually can.
Yes.
So it does make a difference.
It
really does.
And there's a lot you can do. And again, I think Michael Murray mentioned it a little bit earlier today, too.
What a good guy.
These laws impact everybody. This should not be a Republican-Democrat thing. I mean, Democrats own guns, moderates own guns.
Sure they do.
Liberals own guns. I mean, these things hurt everybody.
It does.
And people really need to realize what's going on and stand up and just not tolerate this stuff.
It's us against the government. That's the sad thing. I don't care if it's the off-road community.
It's true.
They're always trying to close our deserts down. They just closed Pismo Beach. You can't drive your buggies out on Pismo Beach. And it's us against the government.
Yeah, sadly,
and if we don't stay and fight, that makes me crazy when somebody says, that's it, I'm moving to Utah. That's it, I'm moving to Idaho. No. Stay and fight.
We'll stay and fight here in California, Grad. As you were saying, when Newsom ought to get a bunch of people upset and get them to do something.
I hope so. That's the silver lining, and having this Gavin Newsom as governor and having the overwhelming majority that they have up in the assembly is that, I think they're going to be so over the top that maybe it's going to start waking up, the independents, the people that really vote here. Because, a lot of people say that, okay, it's all Democrat, we're overwhelmed by Democrat. But if you actually look at the numbers, there's a percentage that are Republicans, there's a percentage that are, Democrats, but then the main group is identified or registered as independent.
That's right.
And these are the people that
can make a difference.
Yes, exactly.
And if you sit on the couch, you're not going to make a difference.
Well, your turning point was with Obama, and what did you do?
That's true. Well, again, seeing just the attitude that was coming out of the White House in those years, the race baiting, the anti-police stuff, I started thinking that, it's time I learned how to use a handgun now. It's something I'd wanted to do, but that was the thing.
So you hadn't been shooting all these years. You just kind of.
But that was his trigger.
That
was his trigger.
Yeah, I grew up hunting as a kid. I always had a shotgun and everything. But as an adult, I never really did any of that until that started happening, and I was thinking, it's going to get bad here, and that's what inspired me.
And that's what happened here with Gun Sports Radio. That's why you and I we started the show, because of the whole thing back then. And we tell people and tell our listeners today, if you haven't joined San Diego County Gun Owners, get on board. Tell your friends about the show.
$10 a month, folks. Come on, you can't buy lunch for that.
Come with us.
And we need to get together as a unit. It just seems like conservative people don't.
But we are more through these organizations and
we have to.
But we are.
You got to back them. You got to stand behind them. Hey, I want to thank all of our fantastic sponsors: San Diego County Gun Owners, the Gun Range San Diego, Gatsky, Dillon and Balance LLP, Firearms Legal, Cali Key, San Diego County GunOwners.com, The Gun Range, San Diego.com, CAFirearmslaw.com, FirearmsLegal.com, www.calikey.com. Please help us out. And don't forget to go to Facebook, Twitter, look for Gun Sports Radio. Yes, sir.
And congratulations to Gunfighter Tactical on winning the 3-gun.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah. Okay, Lee.
All right, folks, go buy your ammo today, or you're out till lunch right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170. But don't go anywhere. I got a pretty exciting show coming up. You're going to have to wait to find out the title right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.